Listen, we're in Florida, where this is just a swamp.
Yeah.
Swampland.
I call it bug capital of the world.
There's bugs everywhere. Yeah. Everybody needs a pest control service, and that's why we use Burn Pest Control.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to burnpest.com, that's BYRNE pest.com. I know they do both of our houses.
They do the studio, yeah, and the studio needs it because we eat a lot of cookies and Snick Snacks, and we drop them everywhere, and we have no pest problem at all.
They treated my wife's office for termites because we thought they came in, they're like, oh, these termites are old, you don't have to worry about it, we're going to treat it. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And if you need a pest control service, we're telling you, burnpest.com. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm. And on, I guess, Zoom today.
It's weird. We can actually say that live via the old Zoom.
Yeah. Live at Holobox, we have our buddy, Chef Pat, to tell us about Holobox. I've got a few questions for him. I'm staring at some champagne here.
Yeah.
Some chocolate.
Rosé all day, son.
Yes. And we're gonna get drunk again. I could just.
Well, I mean, like,
I know
it's
what's happening.
now, full transparency, I've not had a drink in 21 days.
Oh yeah.
So, and they say you break a habit at 21. So, hey, non-alcoholic doesn't matter. Proved it to you, Andrea. I proved it, and I'm back on the horse, baby, and I'm having a tough time. Get these alligators down. Woo! Sorry, but Pat knew I was going to go full Ric Flair on the champagne. Hey, what do we have here? Because we have some Daniel-sized bottles of champagne. I'll put them on the camera. And then we have some Tom-sized bottles of champagne, or dare I say Sam-sized bottles of champagne.
So the Dan-sized bottles, those are, I'd say, individual serving. One is a Prosecco, one is a Rosé. We have those all the time, but they're especially good, I think, for like Valentine's Day, like make a little gift basket, or if you got a bunch of ladies you got to hook up with something, instead of one big bottle of wine, get a few little bottles of wine.
There you go, Tom, for your wife. Valentine's Day is coming up.
But don't forget about her mom and her sister too. Put a little side.
You get them the little bottles.
Yeah, you get them the little bottles. You get your wife the big bottle, and then you
get
go
some of them chocolates.
And then you do one of these where you go, well, you're my special lady, but I couldn't forget all of the ladies that make my life special. And oh my God.
She's like, what did you do?
Daniel told you to say that, didn't you? It's awfully gay.
What did you do?
You just want to check my oil.
You're cheating. You've been cheating on me with Chef Pat, haven't you?
I'm doing something that good. She's like, you're obviously trying to.
You've been driving your boat to Holobox an awful lot lately. You getting more action from Chef Pat and his pretzel pens?
I will say that I had
Everybody wants my wieners.
By the way, you can go to a Holobox and get one of our brand new pretzel pens. Yep. Just ask. And what would you say, Pat, when you ask? Like, what should we tell our listeners? Just ask.
We should make it as complicated as humanly possible.
Because I've seen a lot of people, BDMs, go and they're like, I got one from Chef Pat, but I don't know if you want people bothering you all day, like for a pen.
I absolutely love people bothering me for a pen. That means I can stop doing some paperwork or stop yelling for a minute and go talk to normal people.
All right, right.
And if I'm not here, all my managers know where to get it. Theoretically, I know Mike Burlow came in the other night and they told him we were out the day after Butler dropped him off. So I had to get into him a little bit when I got back to work. But we've got lots, and awesome. I do love to come out. I got to meet Jenna Hurt the other night, so.
Jenna snuck in there. We haven't seen her in a minute, right?
Yeah. We got to get her back on the phone.
We got to get her back on the phone. It's been a minute, and it's funny because she'll pop into Florida, sell some stuff, and then back out on the road.
So, Chef Pat, this particular champagne, obviously you have it for sale, but is it like, I know champagne, if you call it champagne, it has to be out of the particular part of France, right?
Champagne, France.
So is this considered like a popular?
I like how Butler chimed in because he was he used
to stomp grapes.
He used to stomp grapes for his Uncle Dijon.
Okay.
And he chimed in.
In the Champagne province of France.
Because he thought you were too stupid to know that. And Team Travis.
You are too stupid.
So
that's that shiny wine there. If Travis shakes that bottle up, it's got some food grade glitter in it. And it's very, very fancy. I've nicknamed it Shiny Winey, but that is actually That's a sparkling Moscato. It's not champagne.
Is that what we're
I believe
trying?
It's from, I don't remember the region, but it's from Spain. And yeah, it's just a really, really nice Moscato.
That
beautiful.
is beautiful. I like Moscato. Like, I'm a fan.
I do too.
In the Peloton community, that has become some sort of a joke. Like, you know, like things catch legs, and you don't get to pick these things anymore. It's what, and when you accomplish certain rides, people will say like, "Oh, you got to get a bottle of that and celebrate or something like that." You know, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
And Chef Pat, besides, because I'm a dum-dum, so I call everything champagne. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Just say like
Coke
sparkling wine or sparkling beverage.
But the difference between sparkling wine
or bubbles, if you want to be cool, dude,
and it's the same essential thing, right? It tastes similar.
Theoretically, just like you guys were saying, it's a regional thing. You can only call champagne when it's from Champagne. Other than that, you just resort to calling it sparkling wine.
Gotcha, yeah. But
I'm a sparkling sucker, and
it makes you feel good.
Out of all alcohol, Ross in today, right?
I know, yeah. I understand. Yeah.
It is my favorite. I just can't. Like can we have some?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I haven't been drinking. I'm just going to beg. I'm just going to beg for.
Should we do the glitter one?
I am not
big bottle. I am not afraid of anything anymore. I like rosé. I am a rosé guy.
We're celebrating talking to Chef Pat.
Yeah, I'm definitely a rosé guy. I hit the wrong button. I was so excited about rosé. I hit the fish tank button. I eliminated Pat. I went right to the fish. Sorry about that.
Hey, you got the booze. That's all you need now.
And there's something that, for whatever reason, I'm not. This can't be like scientifically accurate, but this kind of alcohol the first glass makes me feel better than any other type of alcohol for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
how much of that
it's
is
psychology.
Yeah, how much of that is some of your best memories are probably attached to this. You know?
Celebrations.
Your wedding, the birth of your sons, stuff like that.
I don't know, Tom. I agree. I get drunker off champagne faster than I do just about anything else.
Now,
I drink it faster, though, because I like the dry sort of, I don't even know what you call that taste.
But if it's all you drink that night, buddy.
That next day is bad.
Yeah, it's got to be in limited, a couple glasses, not the whole. You drink the whole bottle, it gets you.
That's why I stopped drinking for 21 days. New Year's night, I drank an entire bottle of Dom that Bar Merritt gave me after I consumed 12 Coors Lights.
No.
So I went 12 Coors Lights. That's called the Titusville Wizard Staff.
Yep.
So I did one Titusville Wizard Staff, and then I did one bottle of 2010, great year, Ross told me, of Dom that was a gift
from Mario.
It was supposed to be saved for a big deal. Now I just drank it out of the bottle on my balcony.
You probably fell like
on the
garbage.
floor, pee on my pants.
Oh man,
that'd be a rough next morning.
Absolutely terrible.
So obviously, Chef Pat, you can get this at the market or at Hollabox itself. How should people go about asking for it?
So the two that I sent you today, actually everything that I sent you today is only available at the market.
Okay.
And just wanted to remind everybody that we're getting close to Valentine's Day, and that is a perfect place to go. Get some chocolates, get some candies, maybe if your significant other, wife, girlfriend likes sauerkraut. Butler, thank you for the reminder. We are also going to have chocolate-covered strawberries for Valentine's Day. We do it one time a year, and this is it.
So okay.
Those are baseballs, too. Those are not your normal strawberries. Those are massive.
Yeah, they're huge.
Okay, Samantha.
And what was the chocolate that Sam and I ate? The Katzenjungen.
Cat tongues.
Those are great.
That's what it translates to?
Yeah, cat tongues.
Wow, I probably wouldn't have eaten it had I known that's what it translates to.
That's gross.
But it was good.
It was good. Yeah, it was really, really tasty, especially with some alcohol. I love chocolate and like wine, or chocolate and champagne, or chocolate and like a good beer, craft beer.
So, Chef Pat, let's say because I feel like this could be a home run if you're trying to plan something for Valentine's Day, like a picnic or something. Like,
sure.
I know, he said times. He said times.
You know what I mean.
I didn't say anything.
I just heard the snickering.
I tried to get away from the mic.
Hey, guys, we're going to do something great for Mama this year for Valentine's Day. I saved up all my monies, and I'm going to go to Walmart and get her some tampons.
Why are you like a baby? Why are you
Chef Pat, what would you say? Like, because this would be perfect. Like a couple bottles of this, some chocolate covered strawberries, some chocolates,
Some cat tongues.
and then what else can you get at the market? You say like you throw in some sort of other salamis.
Hey, throwing that salami. Why don't
Get a
you?
Pat.
I'll just say some cheese and cracker. You know what I mean? It's like some other where you're gonna have a.
The
picnic.
rule is it takes 2 bottles of sparkling wine to throw the sausage in there.
You guys are doing like a German dad food show.
That's all we got.
It's pretzel and
we have
wiener
some-
in the morning.
That'd be way better.
German morning show. Coffee to save, everybody.
Cheeses, summer sausage, salamis, rolls, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said pickles, pickled onions, pickled beets.
Yeah.
Dude, that-
all the pickled things.
Like a little,
all that's really good for
because
picnic.
look, you don't
You
want to
make
eat
a charcuterie.
Yeah, you don't want to eat heavy.
All right. I don't know. You know what
Why'd
I
you
mean.
even try?
Adult Lunchables, Tom. We talked about this before.
I made the finest of Crystal. I made you a fast foodery plate.
They have. They also have gummy bears,
Wait.
dry goods, condiments. Want some different
Condoms are for sailors. Don't buy them.
Yeah, but this you could go to the market and
Yeah.
then put together an awesome
Well, you don't
picnic basket.
You don't want to eat
Yeah.
heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
everybody picking up what I'm laying down?
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
going to eat heavy. You know, you're not eating 4 bowls of chili.
I get Moscato drunk by you're sitting by Lake Monroe on on a blanket.
Yeah.
I come zooming by my boat.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, but seriously, that's all you need. I feel like this would be a hit. And just stumbling drunk, get 2 bottles of Moscato. Oh, no, sorry. I just I fantasized about what my Valentine's Day weekend is going to be.
It might be.
Chef Pat.
Get what you want.
Speaking of me trying to get some stuff for myself, I have a deal. I've been waiting for this day for at least 2 weeks.
Oh my God! How did you do it?
So,
Oh God!
Corona. We all have
You like-
Corona now. Pat, we gotta go. I gotta get rapid tested. I'll see you later. No.
it's a Moscato. It's a
It's
little
not the
phlegmy.
Moscato.
Yeah.
Don't blame it on the Moscato.
So my wife has this jaw problem. That's a serious-
I don't think she wants to talk
I'm
about
too
that.
large of a man. Because they call me Big Tom.
No, don't say that.
What the hell is
Are
wrong
you
with
sure
you?
you're supposed to talk about this on air?
Yeah, she has no other resort. She
said,
It's her
"You're
last
our
resort."
only hope, Chef Pat. Chef Pat, you're our only hope. I've got a jaw problem that only Chef Pat can fix."
No, it's like she fell at the Castleberry roller rink. Remember? This is back in November.
Broke her teeth out. No. She hasn't got it fixed for about 6 months.
No, she fell
looks
at
like
the-
the Headless Horseman.
Remember, I told the story. She fell down, like she was with Max skating in the big circle, or whatever. And then when she fell down, it almost blew her teeth out.
Yeah!
because she hit with such force, like she did the old.
There's like a Castleberry pontoon.
She like
Boom, boom, boom.
both roller skates out from under her landed, and she like it stunned her real good.
Yeah.
But like a week later, her jaw, she couldn't close her jaw. So then, literally since November, like mid-November, she hasn't been able to close her jaw all the way. Like her teeth don't line up; it's out of alignment.
Dr. Octor can help her.
Well, she went to a chiropractor. They did every single thing they could possibly do.
They did every single thing they
And
could.
Moscato sneaking up.
and then, until the guy said, "If you tried throwing up, sometimes that."
What?
Yeah, like he's like, "That's
I
the
know
last
this-
resort."
I know this sounds crazy, but have you tried New Room massage?
Then she
Your flea market chiropractor is no good.
she went to a dentist because then there's like, all right, there's no TMJ. Everybody that specializes in TMJ
Did
is a
she go to a
dentist.
shrink to
And-
analyze her dreams?
And then she went to a
That is
dentist.
lack of sex is getting her down.
She went through all the muscle relaxers. She went through a round of steroids and whatever. Still nothing. Like, and now for the past 10 days, they put her on a strict liquid only diet. That
That sucks.
And then
My
she hasn't
God,
been
maybe
able to
she
eat.
needs some schnitzel.
Anyway, this leads me all to
Chef Pat.
where I was thinking liquid only. Her
You
favorite.
guys got any liquids there?
Oh my God.
Her favorite soup of all time, which is super hard to find, is white asparagus soup.
Okay.
That she
You poor tortured man.
Did
This
she-
sounds like a fairy tale. This doesn't even sound like a real story.
that she got one time in Germany when we were visiting, and we sat down at this cute German cafe, and they were serving white asparagus soup that they only serve during certain times of year because it's super rare. And then she ate it, and she proclaimed it was the best soup she's ever had, and she's been chasing that
White asparagus.
for the past 10
That
years.
great white asparagus.
Hard to find or whatever. So, Chef Pat, I know that it's hard to get a hold of the white asparagus. That it's a
It's
rarity.
an endangered
They
asparagus.
do have white asparagus.
Well-
My husband had some last week.
Well, certain times, how can I get a hold of some white asparagus soup, Chef Pat, or can I purchase it straight from you by like one
soup it
gallon?
yourself.
Well, yeah, like what?
Well,
what
how
would
do
that
you
cost?
even make it? Is it just pureed white asparagus?
I don't know. That's going to
Heated
ask
with butter?
Chef Pat because apparently it's hard to find. Like you can't
right.
you can't just get it anywhere.
All right, you ready? That was the longest roundabout
Yep.
for one question,
Yep.
Tom.
It could have gone longer. I had more.
Yeah, he gave.
I had more.
to-
Way
more.
more.
To his credit, he gave you the junior.
I had this whole thing.
There's three other sizes. There's small, medium, and large after that.
So yes, you're 100% right. White asparagus or Weissspargel is very rare to get over in America from Germany. So you can get white asparagus through a lot of like Whole Foods. You can order stuff, and I think Publix you can order produce. You can get white asparagus, but it's not going to be German. It's going to come from Peru or South America more than likely, and it's a totally different strain of asparagus, if you will. German white asparagus are a lot woodier. So like the smallest ones, probably like the size of your thumb, like they get big, like they're very girthy. We made magnets that say Germans have the biggest stalks when we bought white asparagus last time. It's got a
right.
handful of white asparagus on
Yeah, I
it.
like that.
girthy stalks.
I don't know if you know this.
Daniel's
I'm
basketball name.
the only German on the show, and I'm a bit of a tuna can. Pat. I don't know if you know
So
that.
yeah, like 5 years ago, Theo special ordered when he was in Germany. He hooked up with the farmer in Germany like 6 months before asparagus season, which is like March, April, somewhere around springtime.
And you got to get a permit, right, to shoot asparagus, right?
Yeah, I think so. You got to have a net. You can't shoot it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he met a farmer over there, and he knows an importer, and we imported. I want to say it was like 100 kilos of the finest German white asparagus that you can import.
Sweet,
Wow.
sweet kilos of white asparagus.
Oh yeah, and then the cool thing about the German white asparagus is you can't just eat them. Like I said, they're very fibrous, so you got to peel the stalks. Like if this is the asparagus, you leave the head on. The rest you peel, so you can see the flesh because it's very fibrous and it's like very stringy.
Well, at
And
least your
then you have
wife
to cook
likes
it.
something easy to make.
Yeah. Couldn't it just be Vienna sausage?
Yeah.
Just something.
Like a Tic Tac.
It's gotta be some
And Tom,
super
I am
rare.
working on getting white asparagus from Germany. Theo and Jackie at the market have put out some feelers since I know they're not having any big spring fests over there this year.
All right.
We're trying to see if they maybe have a surplus that we can get some over here again this year.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah,
there you
just shoot me a
make sure you post
text,
if we do.
and then I'll swing by.
And his
before-
boat. He'll park at the marina. You walk it down for him, and he wants it free.
Then you load it in bales in the back,
Yeah.
and put the tarp over.
God, if your
I'm
dad,
like, yeah,
if your dad could see you, if your dad could see you, he would be both impressed that you're smuggling because that's what he did.
Yeah.
He would also be
Mad.
embarrassed that it's
Yes,
asparagus and not marijuana or cocaine.
Yeah. Then the Sanford Coast Guard is coming, which
What do we got here? White asparagus. Oh, see, we got a soup lover on this boat.
which is a little person riding a buzzard, and they're shooting the machine gun, the 50-gallon front. I've seen the videos. They're like that, and the
It's a
kid just stop.
warning. It's a warning.
All right, so Chef Pat, you're looking into it. We could get some white asparagus coming up because I feel like if I can get a hold of that for Crystal, then that's end game for me. That's the best thing I've ever done for her. Like that's how much she likes it.
Oh, if I can help you do the best that you ever have for your wife, I would love to, Tom.
You can help me with that any day.
You can stand in the closet too, Pat, if you know what I
Hey.
mean.
Why would you say that?
I'll give you a mini DV cam, and you just get some.
Why would you say that?
Where's the spoon?
Just concentrate on the bush shots.
See you
That's
there,
what I
brother.
like. I like the bush shots.
No, don't come on. Well, Chef Pat, thank you so much for
Putting up with us.
putting up with us. Why just
I mean,
beg
what's there to
for
put up with? I
asparagus?
think he just loads alcohol into a crate and then sends it to the studio, and then he just turns on his camera and watches us act stupid.
Thank you for getting us delicious alcohol
Yeah.
for us to get drunk.
Oh, it's
And
yummy.
Can I eat one of those?
Candies? Oh, no.
You want a cat tongue or you want one of the
I want a
hearts?
cat tongue.
Could have sworn he's on his pain pills if he's going for the chocolate.
Come on, Tom. Baseball-sized strawberry, one bite right
Okay,
now.
well, let me get that.
Oh, that's healthier. It's healthier.
Yeah. Baseball size strawberry.
I got
Those are some big
I got
strawberries.
dibs on a few of those for Maisie Dennis. That's her favorite fruit.
Get a
Look at
close
this.
up on
Look
Twitch.
at that.
And I can get those for my daughter. I can swing through and just grab strawberries from you guys.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to have
here
to
we
do
go.
that. He's going in.
I like you showed the backside of the strawberry, not the pretty,
gotta look at the stem, dude.
design.
You got to look right into it.
Oh man,
It's good, right?
It's a big bite.
Yeah.
that is delicious.
Well, Florida, a lot of people don't know this. We are known for strawberries. We grow
Strawberry
them.
festival.
Yeah, we grow them here. We have great Well, the thing is
Prime
spraying.
time of the year for strawberries right now.
That thing spray crazy, dude.
Ew, we just dropped it and it's Moscato.
Oh, my God.
Why would you do that?
You're such an animal.
Ew, you ate the chocolate at the desk?
You have chocolate all over your mouth.
He's a goddamn mess. We gotta
spitting it
get
out.
out of here.
My fingers. Oh,
Chef Pat, oh my God, Chef Pat he has a hat on he's the lead singer of Ghost. He's Cardinal Copia.
It's my Mardi Gras hat, Dan.
I love it. It's awesome.
Doo-doo all over his head.
Tom has poo-poo all over his face now.
We gotta go.
We got to go, Pat.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you too, man. We'll talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
Pat.
Later, Pat.
Awesome. Bye.
Hollabox, Willage.
And Magnolia Square Market.
Yeah. Go. They got the pretzel pins. Why did I get that everywhere?
Why do you have it all over you?
You stuck your fingers in your mouth like a 3-year-old when you ate it.
It's hard because you take one sensible bite, but if you want the rest,
You're supposed to just put the whole thing in.
Yeah.
And go
Oh,
for it.
the green.
You babied it.
You eat the green.
Eat the green.
No, come on.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to spit that out.
I eat the green. Sometimes when you're down there, you
come
can't
on.
just eat the red.
No,
I eat the red too, but sometimes you eat the red and you stay for the green.
Oh God! Bye bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. On the line with us virtually is our producer, Sam. What's up, Sam?
Hey, what's going on?
So, Samantha's at her home studio. I'm sorry, I got distracted by a Twitch commercial.
What just happened? Oh, I just got my.
I'm distracted by
and
everything.
then the text just came through. Hold on, we got to stop the show. I'm too distracted.
But I'm distracted by a Twitch commercial that popped up because I'm
What
not
was it,
even
the big booty Asian girl.
I'm not even
shooting lasers.
I'm not a subscriber to her own Twitch channel, so I get commercials.
Oh
That's what I
God!
think.
What are you doing?
So I'm like,
Is it
what the
worth that?
Tostinos?
Really slaps the butt and twerks it and then farts.
All right, let's get to business.
Shut your mouth,
So
EJ.
yeah, you shut up for a second, EJ.
Yeah, fatso.
So Samantha's at her home studio, and I guess only really BDMs we only talked about in our BDM show. But first off, how is Travis?
Travis is doing better. His levels are getting better. He's doing exercises to expand his lungs and to improve his blood oxygen levels, and hopefully he will be released from the hospital tomorrow.
I love it.
Now, for those people that are just hearing this because they didn't listen to the BDM show,
Right.
do you want to give a little recap of what transpired over the past week of the crazy events?
It's too much.
Ooh, quick recap. Trav was not feeling good last Sunday. Monday morning, he woke up with 102 fever. We both took rapid tests. We both tested negative. He also, the next day, took a PCR COVID test.
That
He
was the
also
tone you
tested
just heard.
negative.
Was the test coming through? That's how accurate we are here at TND Media.
He tested negative again with the PCR test. I then took him to a clinic because he wasn't getting better. He was diagnosed with pneumonia. They gave him some antibiotics. They weren't working. So by Friday afternoon, I took him to the ER and they diagnosed him with COVID as well as severe pneumonia. So he's been in the hospital since Friday afternoon.
Yes, and we talked
Wait a
about
minute,
how
that's a really insensitive thing to say.
what.
She's like, my husband has been in the hospital since Friday. And you're like, yes. Like, who would say that?
No,
who would
dare
say
you.
that?
No, I said, well, the inflection was wrong.
It was way wrong. You were like, yes.
I meant yes, that is.
And he is dying, correct?
Why did
Yes.
I say it?
Yeah. You know what? Your wife is right. You're a monster. You're a goddamn monster.
But I said yes, like I'm confirming, like yes, that is the truth. Of course, it's you. Like, what happened? It's not like
He almost
please tell me.
almost mumbled.
I'm sorry.
It's been a long couple of days. Anyway, yes, continue.
So today,
Correct.
he has gotten better since they started treating him accurately, and we
That's
talked.
scary, right?
We talked about this all on the BDM show, but we all went tested, and we all tested negative. And Samantha got her second test, and she's negative.
Second
so
PCR. It wasn't just the rapid.
So she
Yeah, I did both. Yeah.
didn't get the virus or hasn't tested positive for it, and doesn't look like, which is odd. And I got some emails too from BDMs that said, like, some BDMs told me they're like, my wife tested positive and I just slept on the couch for 2 weeks. I never ended up getting it. This has been some other stories like this.
The doctor, when I got my test, the doctor basically told me that he sees this a lot and that this is fairly common to have a household where one person might get infected and other people do not.
Which, by the way, does not mean it's not contagious.
Correct.
It just means every situation's different. And because there's been plenty of evidence of people in like a church choir, 100% of people got it in the same room. So it's like, it's all over the place. Anyway, it just shows you how little, what the hell we know.
It could be very bad or nothing could happen. So you need to take it seriously.
But most importantly, Travis is getting better. And do they still project him being able to come home Wednesday?
Yes, I think that's the. I'll talk to him a little later, but as far as I know, that's what they projected. Yeah.
Now this is
Okay,
where
awesome.
you're supposed to go. That'll complete the package. That'll complete the package. Then you need to go in the bathroom and stare into your own eyes in the mirror and pick your first victim.
Anyway, and Samantha's going to be working in this capacity.
Yeah, this is weird.
Until everything obviously is safe again and cleared up, and we
it's
move
also
on.
Great that first thing I'd like to say, if you're not watching this live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, if you'd like to hang out, chat, watch all of our live videos, or watch the replays on YouTube. Just search Tom and Dan Live. I love that her home studio just matches our studio. You would never know.
Yeah.
You would never know she's not here.
Yeah. And by the way, thank you guys for putting this together so quickly.
Honestly, think my husband Travis.
Yeah.
He video chatted me through the whole process of trying to figure out how to make this work.
Thank the guy you want
From
to
the
die.
hospital. This guy can't stop laughing.
And what is the thank he gets? You go, yes, when you find out he's in the hospital. That's great.
No, he's working with the Travis with COVID is doing more than our Travis. Who's sitting and waiting for Monday.
I'm not sure if I'm not sure you knew this, but Travis is with COVID worked twice as hard as COVID for Travis. It's a fact.
I would rather have 3 COVID Travises.
No, don't do the exchange rate on that.
Anyway,
it's dollar to yen.
So, all right. We'll talk
That'll
more.
get some tears on the keyboard. Nice job.
No, he's fine.
Well done. You're doing a great job today.
He's still waiting for the meeting. He didn't know we're recording.
No, I texted him and told him that
okay.
I would check his connection to Zoom later in the day. We'll handle that in the afternoon.
That was my fault. I got distracted. Again, I got
You're like
distracted
the
in the
dog
morning.
from Up.
Well, I got into answering emails, and
Except the dog from Up has that thing on his
collar.
throat that makes him talk perfectly, which I wish you had that. My God, if we had that, we'd be...
My kids were watching that yesterday.
If you had that talk device, we'd be an unstoppable entertainment force.
I got so into answering emails and in a rhythm, and I'm so used
Rhythm
to
method, yeah.
Travis telling me about his new Star Wars thing.
Oh, he was doing it
his
heavy
spikes.
last night. Did you see him? He was showing his different toy room. He's doing
Yeah,
MTV Cribs.
yeah. And what he's his freezing wand that he's building for his wife. Is his whole
Freezing wand.
Remember the freeze wand? Remember the whole week about the freeze wand. He's like, I got the freeze wand in.
I must have tuned that out. Sam has been teaching me these techniques to tune Travis and you out. And damned if they're... Sam, your techniques are working.
Samantha, you remember about the freeze wand, right? The week of the freeze wand?
I don't know any freeze wand.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I do not recall the freeze
Oh, okay.
wand.
He must have been only telling me because the
What if
whole...
you're telling... Is this some sort of secret for a birthday or something? Is he dressing up like a... I don't know, like a snow fairy?
He got some cryogenic freeze wand, and he's like, I'm setting it up. I'm putting in the juice. And he's like,
I get the juice.
He's like, you need to buy the special freeze juice. And he's like,
so he's setting up his first vapor rig.
No, I don't know. But I only listened to half of it because I'm trying to work, and he's telling me about the freeze juice. Anyway, so
I think you need to be licensed to do that. I don't think they just sell you the freeze wand and go like, all right, here's the juice, here's the wand, go zap crazy.
He said it's just like vitamins. It's a Wild West. Anyway, but you want to start with Nerd Jock?
Hold on. I gotta get. Okay, hold on. I'll get your thing going here. I play your intro thing.
Nerds. Nerds. Nerds.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
It's Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
What's going on, guys? I'm double positive.
All right.
I'm double positive we should have canceled this bit last year.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, I'm going to see if I can get Tom to do it today with the stuff I got.
So, what do you want to start with?
You know what? Let's go with the nerd stuff first.
Okay.
Because, I sent a story to Tom, and I'm trying to understand it because I'm not a business degree from UCF alumni. So I want to.
I know.
Always starts with a shot
because I know that I don't know what he's going to talk about.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, okay,
yeah, okay. So GameStop, the video game store, its stock has gone up 500% since last year. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
No.
Now, you sent me the story, and I read your story, but I did see we have a BDM subgroup, there's a couple. There's a crypto group that does a lot of investing, and then there's a stocks group, and they put me in it, and I saw someone said, look at GameStop, and it rocketed up
I saw that too.
an insane amount. And when I saw it, I was interested. It's like, why?
It was up from nothing to what? Like 180.
It was up to $150 a share.
Yeah.
And from like $3 a share to like $150.
And-
so it shot up.
And you sent me the story, and it's fascinating. So you go ahead and
Okay, so the story is this subreddit group decided to say, hey, we're going to buy GameStop stocks. And I think it's not a violation of SEC because they're not like those hedge fund guys that could say, hey, this is an idea. We're just telling you what we're doing, and if you want to do it too, cool. So they all buy a bunch of GameStop stock and drive the price up. And all these hedge fund guys see this and say, oh, you guys are just screwing around. I'm going to bet against you guys. It's going to fail eventually. And they keep investing. And they made these hedge fund guys lose like $1 billion in one day.
yes,
Because they were betting against them. It was like craps where, you bet on the no pass line. That's what these hedge fund guys were doing. And these subreddit guys were just buying the GameStop stock and driving it up. The one guy put like $500 in, ended up paying off his student loans like yesterday.
Wow.
So it's fascinating because there's
this is like precedent setting, like law changing type stuff, right?
Well, there's
yeah.
there's a bunch of things going on here, and I may screw this up because I'm not a professional when it comes to, and I don't even really understand it that much, but I understand markets from
So
gambling.
it's a UCF business degree.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, the business degree has nothing to do with stocks and how the market works, but it's my understanding that I read the story, and obviously there's been a lot of people that have shorted GameStop as a company. And GameStop, obviously, if you know their business model, you look and you're like, how can they continue
Yeah,
with...
it's a failing business for sure.
Yeah, it's like a Blockbuster. Like, you see the writing on the wall. Everybody's going to download, and you guys know more about video games than I do, but everything's becoming you download.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy used games, you just buy them online from people.
For the most part.
You buy it peer-to-peer or on, whatever platform that's selling. You don't go into the store. And
In a weird way, I have people just give me games. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when they're
yeah.
done with them, it's almost like they used to have some value.
So obviously you're looking at GameStop and you're like, well, they haven't pivoted and this has been their business model, and people in shorting a stock basically is betting against the stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen that. If you've seen The Big Short or whatever, you're like betting against or betting on a company failing or going down. And so there was a bunch of money bet against or shorting GameStop. And then I think this Reddit group, because of nostalgia, and this is where it's fascinating, because a bunch of people have nostalgia for GameStop, are like, screw you guys, we're all, as a huge group, going to invest small amounts, but we'll launch the value of the stock.
Yeah.
Basically screwing over all these people that bet against it by $1.9 billion, right?
And that's all part of it, right?
So it was basically
live and die by it.
A bunch of nerds that screwed over these guys betting against this failing company. Now, here's what's fascinating. This will not save GameStop because their inevitable business model is failing, and there's no way, unless they somehow use this capital to pivot to another like online platform or something. But I don't think there's any room for them anymore. You know, like the market's flush with.
It's almost direct to consuber.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, direct.
The studios are going directly to, like, you know, I'm not. Arguably, I don't know much about like PC gaming and or PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm an Xbox guy. But that's directly from the studio directly to Microsoft, correct?
Yeah,
there's nothing else.
You don't need
there.
a middleman.
Yeah, I don't need a store.
Yeah.
So, but also, and this is where it gets muddy, and I don't understand like stocks and finance and the laws that well. But this is kind of what Wolf of Wall Street was doing, but in the
I love it when you say Wolf. Sorry. I know I shouldn't have done that, but Wolf is so good.
I'm trying to,
because my dad used to say that. It reminds me of my dad, and I get a little sentimental about it. Whatever I just want you to say sledgehammer one time. I swear to God, I'd give you the longest hug ever.
So, and to my understanding, it's like with these penny stocks, and like the scam of it back in the day was you get a bunch of people to invest into the stock, driving the price up, and then you're already an investor. You basically falsely drive the price up just from people investing into it without actually the business.
Right.
You know, there's no legitimacy to it, and then people then sell and make a bunch of money, and then everybody else that just invested, the small guys, lose all their money.
They're your losers.
Because you're not actually investing into a profitable business. You're investing into an idea, and that's exactly what all these nerds did. They were investing in nostalgia. They're like, we're going to save you, GameStop, $50, $500, and all these nerds are like crippling the short. Anyway,
yeah, but
it's
like,
cool.
Do you remember a time when
kind of stupid?
Do you remember that sweet spot for you as a young man, or maybe you and your friends? That sweet spot where GameStop was cool, where if it was like a weekend, it morphed.
Madden release.
Yeah, like for me, it morphed because I remember going up to, you know, we were a smaller town, so having like a Blockbuster or a Video Movie News, any of those kind of things, those were a little secondary to us. We had like the mom and pops first. Like a Box Office Video, I think was one we had. They had like a couple of chains, but it was like one guy. You know what I mean? Like, and he owned two video stores. One on the east end of town and one on the west end of town. It was very weird. You know, and then we started getting the Blockbusters. And the Blockbusters, what were cool about those were the only places where you could go and rent video game systems. So for those of us that didn't have parents that would, like, just buy us Nintendos, you know, because we all knew those kids whose parents would buy them the latest and greatest. I didn't have that. So I'd have to rent a PlayStation 1 from Blockbuster and then get all my games.
Yeah.
You know, like that, and then that kind of morphed into the GameStop, and then that kind of morphed into GameFly, which is where you were getting your games delivered in the mail, and then all of it just kind of fizzled out.
Well,
because I aged out of it.
Then
you
it
know,
just
like,
but it also just turned digital. The same time was like when Netflix was mailing you the stuff, you know, and then they were just waiting until the internet got to the point where everything is streaming and download, and and it's going to be interesting what's going to happen, because like I said, it's not going to save GameStop or change their business model. Like, it's a failing business, and it will fail. These guys screwed these guys that were trying to short GameStop a little bit, but
are you using scissors?
No, it's just a pen. clicking the pen.
Oh.
Oh, you were like
That's
cutting
good for
paper
us.
dolls or something in the
Sorry.
middle of your segment.
I wonder what else.
I got distracted.
like if any other business that people are nostalgic about, like if or maybe the power of nerd group in the internet was like, this is very specific just to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at any other business, I've never seen this before, where a bunch of people rallied around and tried to invest money into it. This is more like a troll, right? You're just
It's trolling. I think it's more trolling, yeah, for sure.
But it's not. It's yeah. I
because
guess
they're
it
doing
is.
exactly to GameStop what they did to their customers. They bought it really low and then they sold it on pennies on the dollar later on. So they're kind of doing what GameStop did to them.
Yeah, but well, that would be you're hurting GameStop. If anything, you're actually
You are eventually. Eventually, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad.
Well, no, but you're helping GameStop in the short run. You're only hurting the people that bet against GameStop. You see what I'm saying? Those people, and they're not owners or anything. Like
Correct.
The GameStop Corporation, I'm sure, is planning their landing. Like they
know
see
where they're going.
The writings on the wall. This insane bump in stock capital must be bizarre. Like I don't know what they do with it or how they even.
A hell of a pizza party.
Because it's not even real. Like it's not
Like,
Like
their
on the
employees
way
for
out,
sure.
you know, open bar on the way out of here.
It's not like GameStop announced like a new revolutionary way to make money. It's just a bunch of nerds like, screw you, people that are betting against GameStop. Take this, and then
I don't know.
and that's all it is.
I don't know how you could. I mean, you're a retail outlet, right?
Yep.
The only way you could pivot would be do something different. Like maybe I've always thought that maybe if they pivoted to something where it's a gaming store where you could come and play like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon card games and actually
Some of them do that, actually.
Yeah, some of them do that. And I was like, well, there is a market for that because there's one ginormous gaming facility here in Orlando that you drive by that even during COVID. And the place is safely packed to the gills. You know, I mean, it is, you ain't going to stop those nerds from rolling their dice.
I went into GameStop because I panicked and last minute bought Luigi's Mansion because my
I like that game.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm a fan of any of the Luigi titles.
My sons hate it because it's too complicated.
It's pretty, yeah.
No.
It is complicated.
It is
yeah.
a little. yeah.
But they, anyways, I'm in there and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in 2006. Like, seriously. I was like, what is this? Because there's like a bunch of games on the wall and I'm like, weird. And then like a bunch of bric-a-brac used toys.
Funko Pops.
Like, yeah, Funko Pops and bric-a-brac, all like, there was not a bunch of the same. It was like all one-off bric-a-brac, right? And then like
Yeah, it's
Blockbuster.
like a Mega Man doll.
Yeah.
Halo helmet.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it was like,
Was it making you mad?
no, but I was like, the first thing I thought is that this is like a time capsule
Yeah,
into
it is.
2006.
It
It's
is.
Willy Wonka's factory for Travis.
But also the first thing I was like, this
Like
will
even the music's old. Like they're playing
Like-
Kanye's College Dropout.
yeah.
You know, and you're like, whoa, I haven't heard that in a
Like,
minute.
I almost
Workout
screamed.
program.
There's no reason for this to exist. Like,
Put it on my list with White Zombie, Rob Zombie,
Yeah.
right? Rob Zombie, Goo Goo Dolls, and GameStop. We can put it on my list of things I never needed to know about.
it was like I walked into an old Peaches and
Oh, they still owe me
I
money. That's a
love
sore
Peaches.
subject. They owe me about $900 for my stupid buddy CDs.
like,
And then they went bankrupt. And then it was before I understood what bankrupt meant. I'm like, do I get my money? They're like, hell no.
every CD is in this big old Mambo plastic thing.
You gotta dig through it.
Anyway, what else we got, EJ?
All right. I sent a video to Dan. It's a
right.
trailer for a movie that's coming out,
All right.
and you definitely got to watch it.
Okay.
Okay, here, this
All right,
is...
what movie is it? Just set it up for us.
Okay. Well, it's pretty straight to the point. Godzilla versus King Kong.
Okay.
Oh, I
Have you
saw
guys
this
seen the trailer for it yet?
Oh,
All right, here is little Godzilla
Terrible.
versus King
All
Kong.
right. Okay.
Hey, Skarsgård is in it, and so is Eleven from Stranger Things.
We have to take it.
That's a big monkey hand.
Okay.
Oh,
on a boat.
A big monkey laying on the boat. Oh, they got him in
We
chains.
need Kong. The world
The guy
needs
from True
him
Blood.
to stop what's coming. And this child, she's the only one he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a
What do you think so far here, buddy?
I mean, it's I'm not going to
Don't
hate
yuck
on
on somebody else's yum.
And
It's going to be on HBO. You can watch it like when it comes out on HBO Max.
that's cool.
Is it just me, or do the graphics look terrible?
Well, Grandma.
Like of actual King Kong and Godzilla.
You can't say
Yeah, it looks
graphics
like
because
the
I
guy
bust
at
on
Universal.
Tom for saying that.
All right.
Gigi,
CGI?
you gotta call them. You gotta call them like digital animation. Gigi,
take
I
that,
love
Sam.
you. I miss you, Gigi. I will not kick the door open while you're going number 2, like Seth does.
Is there anything now? I really couldn't tell because I'm older than Gigi. Is there anything behind? Okay, they're gonna have to start making this a little less expensive because it's straight to people's house.
Oh, I
and
think so, yeah.
And then these, you can't spend an absurd amount of money. It's just got to be reasonable, and therefore the graphics, like Gigi says, are a little bit less. Is that? I mean, could that be the case that they're just not as fine tuned because they don't have the ultimate budget?
I just put up a picture of this guy.
See, it's
on the trailer.
I can understand. Like, I think the more time they spend fine tuning it, the more money it is, and the better it looks.
I think it also gets worse, though. I think you need to, at some point, make whatever you're working on, you need to leave some imperfections in it, almost like cheesecloth it a little bit. If we get it so perfectly, you ever seen like where the footage that they're filming looks one way, and then you look at the CGI and you're like, well, that looks spectacular, but the video actually looks crappy.
Yeah,
It should all just be okay.
Are we too far away from all this stuff? Like, we're too used to it, and I'll explain. It's like, okay, we could write this movie, right? They get King Kong, they get the little girl, she shows King Kong the doll, he's like, I'm gonna save you.
King Kong the doll. Can't talk about that. That's Fair Villa segment.
And then they take King Kong to New York, and they're like, Godzilla's coming, we gotta use the girl with the dolls to convince
Put her in front of the lizard to lure them to fight.
And then it's a long fight scene through New York City with them knocking down
they're
buildings.
killing everyone. Oh, we should have done nothing.
Haven't you?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying we know what it
They
is.
do fight on the boat in the trailer.
Okay, it's okay. So that's it. But are we to the point where we've seen special effects so much where we're just like, all right, King Kong fighting Godzilla? It's like, well, all right, like
We've been spoiled. Like, we've seen since Jurassic Park, like, the CGI was so good.
No, we're
in,
going
like,
backwards
94.
now. Now follow
Yeah,
me.
it's
like can we have something smarter?
We're going backwards, and I'll tell you why. Robots fighting each other, like robots that are in fact aliens fighting each other, is the most advanced fight you can have, right?
Yeah.
Now we're having a jumbo lizard and a jumbo monkey fight each other. I mean, like, now we're going backwards. What are you going to do next? Jumbo amoeba fights jumbo paramecium. Oh, he's slapping him with his cilia crazy. He's just whacking him good. That's dumb. I want to see what we really would do. We would not lure the monkey to fight the lizard. We would kill them both instantly with nukes, right? We just blow them like we blew up that whale.
Yeah. One giant bomb could easily.
Right. We would tie them both together. So make the movie realistic. We would find a part somewhere in the ocean, somewhere. We'd find an island. We'd put the monkey. We'd tie it to the lizard. We'd tie him up with chains, and we'd drop a big nuke on him and kill them both.
But that's what created Godzilla. Usually the nuke was what created Godzilla.
No,
but we
That's
have
the whole point of that.
We have a missile that would go like a bunker buster missile that goes like 30 feet underground, like pierces the earth before it
It'll just
explodes.
rip its feet off.
Like, you could just bunker buster missile Godzilla easily and blow. I don't understand. Why don't we have the military?
See, Juan is saying
fight?
nukes don't work with them. Juan, you're a baby. Nukes will work on them. Giant monkey versus nuke. Guess who wins? Giant nuke. It's just science.
It's impervious to explosions?
It's not impervious to explosions. Look at it. It's got a hair. That whole thing would just... You'd be whacking its boobs and smacking its head.
Also, if a big monkey could just El Kabong you, then a nuclear explosion will kill you.
And
Well,
you
it's
mean to
stupid.
tell me if monkeys, gigantic monkeys, are pervious to nukes, we don't have one standing on top of the United States protecting us from everybody else? Why do we have a jumbo monkey? We had to create one because they're impervious to nukes.
So
you nerds and your dumb stories, you can't have everything.
Can't we just...
You got to pick and choose some stuff.
How much... How much more dumb can movies get? Where it's just like we saw a giant King Kong fight a Godzilla. Stupid. It's stupid.
Oh,
Come
wait
on.
till I get to my next story.
All right. What's next?
Okay, the next story is a good transition because we're talking about dinosaurs. Have you seen the scientists recreated a dinosaur's BH?
What?
Have you seen this?
No.
They're gonna have Jim Carrey come out of it.
Oh.
Basically, they found this preserved fossil, and the skin was good enough that you could see the BH clearly, so they were able to recreate it and show the whole process of its digestive system.
Stupid.
We didn't need to do that, right?
You get it. That's what I thought.
This reminds me of
Okay.
one of those things that comes out every Valentine's Day. This ad comes around where and I know guys are going to share this because Valentine's Day is the next holiday coming up, right?
No, yeah.
So guys are going to share
right.
this
Yeah.
every
Groundhog Day.
year.
It's the chocolate.
Every year
Yeah,
for the
BH,
last
yeah.
20 years, I swear to God, on social media, you guys will give me the thing about the chocolate BH.
Yeah, I hate it.
Get your lover's BH shaped like a chocolate. You can eat it. Stop sharing that. It's never happened. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's fake.
They probably do make a BH chocolate, but it's not custom molded.
No, it's not custom. Well, they're not wasting their
No,
time. How am I
no.
going to get my wife to sit still for that? I can't even get my wife to sit still to make love to me, let alone to do a mold of her chocolate BH.
Yeah. Stupid. What else you got, EJ?
All right. The last story I have for the nerd stuff is they're going to do Heroes Reborn in Marvel Comics again. Do you
Of
guys
course
remember
they
that
are,
from the-
because they
from the
do
90s?
everything. Of course the heroes are being reborn. They're not going to die because they can't. In fact, nukes can hit them and they're fine.
It's a storyline in the comics where Professor X and Magneto merged to become Onslaught, and then all the heroes were killed fighting him, and then Franklin Richards, Reed Richards' son from the Fantastic Four, moved them over to a pocket dimension. I'm only doing this to see if
Frank
time will go blank.
Richards, that's his old Frank Richards to the rescue.
But the new one, they're making Doctor Doom like Juggernaut, and they're making Thanos like a vampire, and the only person that remembers the old universe is Blade, and the Avengers are replaced by the Squadron Supreme, which is Marvel's
Squadron
Justice
Supreme.
League.
My God, hold the olive. I'm the dumbest crap I've ever seen. This is just dumb.
It's become
you
now.
nerds are dumb.
I'm listening to people's dreams now. You're just making up nonsense.
It's just garbage.
You're not sticking to.
I
Any,
gave a warning on Facebook that I was doing this.
I'm crying because it just keeps
Yeah.
He's impervious to the thing, and he lives forever, and he lives in the universe. But that's the different universe. But he married this girl in the second universe.
Listen, my sons have been watching Star Wars, and we got through 1, 2, and 3. Right? By the way, 3 3 made Max cry.
Oh God.
Because he choked out Queen Amidala?
There was a whole explanation how she just fainted. I tried to hide it from her. I said she wasn't dead.
What happened to Amadama?
And then and then Max couldn't even look at it. And
he's
Tommy
disgusting.
was staring at Stone Cold. He's like this old man. He doesn't have no emotion.
Kylo Ren.
But Max is very sad. Anyway, there's the whole burning alive. He's like, oh my God, don't look at it. So now they are understanding the cartoon, the Clone Wars, and now I'm understanding it. So I'm starting to have a more appreciation for the nerd stuff and Star Wars.
Oh, no.
Because my sons love it, and I love my sons more than everything in the world.
You have a connection there.
And so now, because they like it, it makes me like it a little more. But here's what I do like is at least there's some.
I told you you'd be forced to love something you hate.
There's some conformity, and I understand the storylines and the offshoots, and now it's not so confusing to me, which I hated it. And I'm like, oh, the Clone Wars or the cartoons. It was about the Anakin between this age and this age, and then I'm starting to.
Oh my God, he does get it.
So anyway, I'm starting to see.
It ties into the Mandalorian.
But that's why I'm now mad at this stupid X-Men and the superhero stuff, because it doesn't seem like there's any sort of solid timeline or one reality that they're following, and they've offshot too much, and there's all these alternate realities.
There are.
And alternate timelines that I'm like, stupid. And I know if you get deep enough into Star Wars, it's like that, but still, stick to some sort of conformity so I could put some,
Okay, Juan is saying there is one reality, the 616 reality.
6 universe, yeah.
Oh, God. That makes me more
But there
mad.
is also the Ultimates universe.
Don't you love it?
There's only one reality. 616. What does that mean?
I know you're talking about all these separate realities, but I'm
Like
going to give you
there's
a
Earth
very
616
cloudy
Spider-Man.
definitive answer.
And then there's Miles Morales from the Ultimate Universe.
Oh, God. I'm just saying.
Wait, isn't there? Okay, here's what I want.
And then they killed all that
hold on,
universe
pause.
and brought it over to the 616.
Just pause. Original Superman, Batman, original Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Where is he now? Is he dead?
The original one's still alive in the 616 continuity.
Oh, God.
You see what I'm saying? That's what you want. You want just standard Aunt May, Peter Parker.
Well, yeah, there's like, okay.
You want like Hobgoblin.
So that's 616. So I'm like,
616. I feel like every time I say that, I'm calling out like some sort of like gang attack. Yo, son, we the 616 boys. I don't know what we're doing.
All right. Let's move on. What do you got next?
Should we move over to Jock stuff?
Yeah,
sure.
What do you got?
Okay, and let's do it for an old story because it was just reported by Jay Glazer from years ago. Do you remember when Nick Saban was the coach of the Miami Dolphins?
Yes.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And that's when like Dante Culpepper was on the team and Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor.
Yep.
Okay, supposedly, according to Jay Glazer and according to Dante Culpepper had to be pulled off Nick Saban from a fight by security because he was questioning his like abilities. And then also he questioned Zach Thomas's toughness, and the team had to pull Zach Thomas off Nick Saban.
Now, when you say pull off, it's just...
As in fighting. They both tried to kick his butt.
Okay, but it's mainly just yelling, getting in his face, and everything pulls about
hit that old man.
He was treating them like college players, and these guys are men and professionals that are not going to take for that. And of course, they have money too, so it's like you can't treat them the way you would a college player. And I think that's why he's stuck to college and hasn't gone back to going pro.
Just so he can bully kids?
He's done his dynasty at Alabama.
I'm just saying, if Zach Thomas or Dante Culpepper had punched that old man one time and kill him, and
knock his eyeballs out.
You can pick him up and body slam him, and he'll never walk the same.
In all reality, what does he weigh? 140 pounds?
For sure.
Yeah.
What's he weigh? 140 pounds? With all fudgy and like old men, dark skin but hairy.
Well, that shows a complete lack of respect. I feel like, and I feel like and maybe I'm wrong, but no one would ever pull that with a Belichick or someone well respected. Does that show you that Nick Saban's not very good of a leader? Because I
think he's only a good college coach. He's not a good professional coach. I don't think he can motivate adults and men that don't depend on him for like a scholarship and stuff like that.
Well,
I think
maybe
that shows that a little bit.
Sounds like maybe he got off on the wrong.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I know he failed, but it sounds like he almost got off on the wrong foot and couldn't right the boat because it can't be that different, right? Like top tier, best of college to like low level.
Or just professionals,
but still professional level. It couldn't be that different, right?
And also, let's be honest and let's talk in reality. I mean, how much actual motivational speech it matters to play, really, when it comes to a bunch of, at the top of their game, millionaires playing for their careers and playing for their individual contracts and money. And let's be honest, as a business, half of them can care less about what team they're on. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're some veteran that's been on the same team for so many years, none of them care what team they're on. They care about their paycheck. They care about their own career. They know it's short. They're going to make their money while they're there. They know that they could be cut for performance. So they're motivated by personal interest first. But I understand it does help sometimes, with some motivation in the locker room. But I just, I'm like Daniel, it can't be that much different. Also, it's like you got to make coaching, you got an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, you got a lot of guys, unless you're a play calling coach.
I would kind of say which is it, because I've always kind of heard, like whenever you've got your top tier, best of the best, championship college coaches, right? Those guys are kind of heralded as still being up there as good or better than even NFL coaches, right? As far as legacies, I see them throw their name around. So if you're going to do that, then I think you'd have to pick and choose, like which one is crazier. I don't think there's that much of a difference. Yeah. I think he got off to the wrong foot, never had the locker room. And of course these guys were all over him because maybe his style from jump was always bad, but I don't necessarily think it was like he came in, had their respect, and lost it. I don't think he ever had it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So it'll be interesting what's going to happen with the Jaguars this year.
With Urban Meyer.
I heard there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of QB changes.
Oh, I saw they were
They're going to try to
interviewing.
get Tim Tebow, is what I heard.
I didn't know that was a definite. So Urban Meyer is going to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that they were interviewing him. I didn't know. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's happening.
That'd be kind of fun to watch, I guess.
And obviously, they'll get Trevor Lawrence, and that'll be an interesting story. Matthew Stafford is gone from the Lions. There's going to be a bunch of
Where's
moves.
he going?
Where's Cam Newton going?
Where's Watson going?
Yeah, where's Watson going? Unfortunately, it looks like Watson may go with the Jets. And
That's all I'm reading.
And God, it all makes sense. Now, it could be completely wrong, but when you see something that doesn't make any sense, it's like, why didn't the Jets tank? Why? Like, why did they win a couple games? What a bunch of idiots. Like, it made no sense. And then people are like, players want to win and they're going to do it. And I'm like, yeah, but if you really wanted Trevor Lawrence, you're just like, you just set up for losing. Who cares? If you take a bunch of media crap or whatever, you're just like, it didn't make any sense. And then now it looks like Watson's going to go with the Jets. Like, this is all, they knew this from a year ago.
No matter how you feel about that
They
rule,
knew.
I just still feel like it should be altered. Because no matter which side you're on, it's still not working the way it should, right?
Yeah.
Of course, if I were a Jets fan right now.
Yeah, no, but the Jets organization, I think, knew they were going to get Watson. They knew, like all this BS. We know, hey, listen, inside the MLS, there's rules about you're not allowed to negotiate or talk before certain end of the season. There's contracts. But guess what? People bend the rules all the time, and for sure they get on phone calls and they get on things that can't be traced back so they don't get caught, and they start negotiating this huge money. These are multi-millionaire, billion-dollar business. For sure,
Whose phone is that?
Yeah.
That's my phone for across the room.
Yeah, you're going to have to turn that off. 'Cause I'm turning everything off in my studio. You're not even going to attempt to turn it off?
But
it's across the room, and I get my headphones on.
Poor baby.
It's like, of course, they're planning years in advance, right? Like I'm so short-sighted sometimes because I see this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, when did this happen? This has been talked about for years now of like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see.
Okay, the last story. Well, I got two more stories. I sent Daniel another video, it's from a high school basketball game, and it's only 8 seconds long, but it is the craziest thing I've seen in a while.
All right, we're going to it. It is extremely
I don't know any of the backstory, but oof.
Here it is, and it's called. I'll just play it, and
just play it because it gives it away from the title.
Here we go.
Yep.
Dunks it.
And the giant structure, in like high school gymnasiums, the actual basketball hoop is hung from the roof by a giant metal structure, and that metal structure basically collapsed and landed on the court. Hard as hell. Could have killed someone, no problem.
Yeah, it swung, and luckily everyone was cleared out of the lane, or it would have killed somebody for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, one guy had missed him by, and I can't really tell from the vantage point we have. It looks like it almost came a couple feet from just taking him out.
Never seen that happen.
I've never seen that happen. That's like, oh my God.
The backboards break before, but those are all held together with a series of like pulleys, right? And wires, and you ratchet them down.
You're like, what, did giant bolts break? Like, that seems pretty like a catastrophic failure. Like, it should be no way that happens unless a variety of things went wrong. But at least no one died in front of their families.
Thank God.
Yeah, because that's what would happen. Like, you're watching your kid play a basketball game, he's killed by a random accident. Like, how horrible is that?
Makes you want to not have your kids do anything.
Speaking of deaths, the other story I have is it's the 1 year anniversary of Kobe's death.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which
well, then moving on.
No, you've seen
talk about the NFL playoffs.
No, but it just kind of shows you how time, like especially this year, just
that was like the beginning or the huge
of the
story.
bad stuff.
Yeah,
and then that lit and then COVID happened.
It's dark times.
Yeah.
That was sort of the beginning of because you would watch the news and it would all be just like, politics, Kobe, and then like this virus is rolling. What's happening? What's happening? Thank God that's over.
Yeah. Well, we got to talk about the Super Bowl. Are we going to Zoom the Super Bowl, or are we? Because we're definitely not going to the studio in 2 weeks.
I mean, I guess we could Zoom it in here. I mean,
I don't. I think last year we said it was our last year.
We did.
It looks like Coke and
but you
Pepsi.
said that 2 years ago too,
Right.
I don't. I think
we say it every year. Last year,
this will. I think this will be the most watched Super Bowl of all time.
I do too.
Based on
It's the perfect storm. In Tampa, Tom Brady, pandemic, nothing else on, starved for sports. Give me some, Super Bowls.
Have you heard about the rumors that they're going to try to rush the stadium to get in to watch it?
Yes, I have heard that. I was talking about that
crazy.
yesterday.
That's stupid.
Apparently,
No.
rules don't matter anymore, and people are going to end up getting hurt doing stupid stuff.
No one's going to do that. It's just like there's everybody's like they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And I was like, there's all rumors. The internet is rumors. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But
what's the line?
It's
3.5, isn't it?
Yeah, 3.5. I think you can get
Chiefs.
3, but juiced up. But yeah, it's. I mean, who the hell knows? Although the
Tampa's
storylines
playing at home.
there, I just saw a stat too. This has never happened before. Where two quarterbacks that were in the past prior to Super Bowls are playing each other. So, for instance,
right.
2 Super Bowl ago, it was Brady and Rams, and then obviously Patrick Mahomes last year. So now they're facing off. That's never happened. There's so many storylines. Brady playing at home and Tampa playing home. The fact that Brady left and then now reached the Super Bowl is insane.
Crazy.
Mahomes, there's the passing of the torch story. There's the story of, I've heard if Brady wins, like you retire and you retire doing something that no other player could probably ever do in the world again. Too many good storylines. What happened? EJ's getting fired.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we just finishing up.
Okay. That's the
about something. Yeah.
He's talking to Toshiba again.
Toshiba.
So sorry, Toshiba. I'm almost done with my business card. Arigato. Me do a business.
We do a show.
It's one of those things where it's like it's like they don't want that to happen.
Let's listen to his business meeting with
He's so awkward around women.
I was just trying to get.
Just trying to get some stuff done, how Toshiba is. She's always so crazy. Oh, Toshiba, you're such a kidder.
We do a segment every week with a guy at work. He's doing
it under his boss's desk.
Lying to his boss about working. And now he's getting done.
I have to Skype in real quick. It's Toshiba's birthday. They're doing a virtual mixer. Hi, Toshiba. Sorry I missed your birthday.
Like, imagine.
Do I hang up on it? What do I do? I don't know what to do.
I mean, what's the time? I think you guys could wrap
Time to get ill.
Yeah. Imagine if we walked in one day and Travis is doing a sports segment with a different podcast.
It's Dan Libertard on there.
I'm like, you do a sports segment with Dan Libertard every week, and then it's like, what the hell?
What am I paying you to do? Yeah.
You're doing segments.
Get on
for
the
a
horn with
podcast?
Toshiba and make sure that we got copier toner.
The Miltank task is feed 7 berries to catch Pokemon.
No, now he's talking about Pokemon.
Did he just end the segment to go play Pokemon?
He's talking Pokemon with his
And
boss?
I heard him say twigs and berries. He's like, I'm feeding twigs and berries to my Pokemon. That's what I...
Oh my god,
They did that on purpose.
my husband's like, oh, you get the research.
We're putting all this on the radio.
I'm going to ruin your life.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
It starts getting racist. We're like, ooh.
Catch 11 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I only got one mine in front of.
Well, we went to Defy, so we were driving around.
You broadcast my private Pokemon conversation.
How does he not know that he's still on? And what did he do? His boss came and he freaked out, just threw his iPad out the window?
I think he just put it on a screen. It just says iPad. How did he even get that on the screen? It just went to the iPad screen. All right, yeah, we're going to go. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan Samantha, live via the Zoom. Hey, Sam.
Hey.
What's shaking?
Just quarantining at home.
Yeah, husband is at home.
Yep.
He's there, but
Back, yeah.
almost too weak to even talk. That guy is, he's on the mend, though, so the prayers and the positive energy thrown out there, it's working.
Now, I apologize. I did not pray I hope.
No.
How dare
I hope
you.
he
But
understands. He'll know.
you gave it a Facebook thumbs up.
yeah.
And that's the same. I did the exchange rate. It's exactly the same.
I did. I felt grumpy about something, and I thought of Travis, and that was my. He'll understand.
Okay.
That's grumpiness.
Either
That
way,
counts.
it's energy out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So we haven't talked to this gentleman in a while.
Yeah.
He's going to be at the Orlando Improv. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday.
Yes, it is the 221 at theimprovorlando.com. Easiest way to get your tickets. In fact, all their guidelines for the virus, how they keep you safe, it's all there, super easy. This guy's already got 1 show sold out. So if you're scooping tickets, you better start scooping them now or you're going to miss out.
Yep, on the line with us, DC Curry. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I heard you refer to me as a gentleman, and I detect sarcasm.
no,
not at all. In fact,
Yeah.
we remembered last time you were in here, you were telling us how you had a 4-wheeler, and you were riding around on your property, and you were trying to communicate with your white neighbors by shooting your guns in the air. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have a system there. We respond to each other by gunfire. Yeah.
Might be a
But
little,
not at each
different
other,
now.
but up in there.
The last time you were in here was a little bit different with the system. Hopefully the system is still in place and everything's okay, because you know it's crazy out there, DC.
Everything's still in place, and they're still my friends. Man.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Well, it's funny, DC, because we do talk about your farm, and me and Daniel always are jealous about having land and having toys and having a stocked. I think you still got your fishing pond.
I do. I don't think I talked to you all since I bought another farm, and incidentally, I've been given a television show about building my other farm that I bought. So I what I did was I employed a lot of the unemployed, technically comics, because of COVID-19, and I've been using them. I've been paying them to help me build this other farm that I bought in Hogansville, Georgia. And of course, they're out of their element. And when I tell you it is hilarious. It is hilarious.
Hold on,
And
DC.
it's a funny farm. He has created his own funny farm.
So, DC, you now have hired 2
farms.
Unemployed stand-up comedians. Obviously, they can't.
He's now growing comedy, folks.
and now you have hired them to help build your farm. Is that correct?
That's correct. And when I tell you they're tearing up my equipment and my animals that I know I have separated by gender, but some of them are still coming up with babies. So I don't know what's going on.
Hold on. DC, this is, by the way,
I'm going to watch the hell out of this TV show.
When is this TV show coming out? What what is it on now? Because there could be a million things.
AIB is a production company that stepped up, and we've completed 6 episodes, haven't released any, but right now I've gotten interest from CMA, from BET, of course, from Oprah, from the people that produced Duck Dynasty.
Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's getting very interesting, man.
Awesome. Listen, when it comes out, we'll definitely call you up and talk to you about it.
Yeah.
We'll be watching.
I mean, we do use, I don't want you to think this is smoke or BS. Like, we actually use you talking about your farm as kind of like when Tom and I talk about, like, ending, like not even ending, but just something that a box we want to tick within our career to say that we've accomplished something. The idea of buying a farm or getting land that's ours and that is, there is something very, very cool about that. And now you have 2 farms, one that's yours that, you know, the comedians won't mess up, I'm assuming, and now you have this other one that you can kind of experiment with it. Now, are you actually, is it a
it is an experiment. It is an experiment. In fact, what I want to do, I bought 60 acres in Hogansville, Georgia. I want to see how much food I can produce with these guys on 60 acres, and I'm going to give the food away. But I just want to see how much food I can give away. How many
oh my God, this is brilliant! And you're doing something good.
Well, DC? What kind of
idea.
food would you grow? What's what's the plan as far as what are you going to produce?
Well, last summer I had about an acre of tomatoes. about an acre of peppers. I started an orchard, which of course hadn't matured yet, but
Sure.
I got some peaches and so forth off of it, about 100 trees, and I'm going to try to add another 100 or so this year. All kinds of vegetables and fruits. The place I bought, the guy used to basically do hay, and I've wiped out all of the hay fields, pastures, quote unquote, and turned them into productive crops.
Yeah,
I feel like when you have a hay farm, or I feel this way about grass farms too. I feel like that's the easiest farming, and you're like, I don't really consider that.
or is it the most meticulous?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like hay and grass too easy.
Well, for a lot of people, it's the way to go because they have big equipment, and I know some guys out there that have hundreds and even thousands of acres. So hay is the thing that they can be most productive at when you got that kind of space.
So DC, what's brilliant about this TV show that you're doing and that you're doing now is that I can't think of another group of people that are more out of their element in the outdoors or whatever than stand-up comedians. Seriously,
but the coolest thing about it is no matter, they are out of their element, but the cool thing about it is they're the guys that though they're out of their element, are going to be able to tell the story better than anyone because they're natural storytellers, right?
Exactly. And DC, I know we interviewed hundreds of different stand-up comedians that come through Orlando, and there's a small handful that have had like your stereotypical real men jobs that worked in the army and stuff. But once they got rich or made any money, they never went back to doing nothing. They don't want to go outside.
That's the goal, right? The goal is to get rich and then just moisturize yourself to death.
Yeah. They hate outdoors.
Nothing soothes my soul like getting on my tractor with a cigar, and I took the Velcro and I put my ashtray on my tractor, and I put my scotch. I put my scotch over in the ashtray, and I ride, man. I love to ride tractors.
Yeah, so does Jim Phillips. We have a very good friend of our show here in town, and he collects tractors. In fact, when things get better and you get back in town, I'll take you to see some of his prized pieces. He's got some legit tractors that belong in museums, man.
So
I love to see them, man. I'm like a kid about tractors, man.
Yeah, they're cool. They're never not cool.
So DC, am I right in the fact that these comedians that are working on your farm,
are they doing a good job?
None of them know what they're doing, right, at all, and they definitely don't want or enjoy the outdoors.
None of them have a clue. In fact, the most manly and mechanically oriented person I have out there is a lesbian.
I'm watching this show.
So, DC, what are some of the comedians? Because we know
maybe he doesn't want to give up his hand. But ask him. Ask him. He can tell us. He can tell us no.
I have Bo P. I have Ernesto Ross, Sherman Golden. I've been promised a guest appearance the other day. I talked to Chris Tucker. He's going to come out, but he hadn't done it yet. But the cast is Bo P, Ernesto, Marcus Combs. Who else on the show? Ashima Franklin. It's funny, man.
Yeah,
and all of them have been, basically journeymen. They're good comics, but you know how this business is. You wait on a break, and they're hilarious. It's very minimally scripted, and they do their thing, man. And it's come together nice. Now the name of it is Nappy, Nappi, i.e. Napa. Nappy Valley. And, I'm also doing wine, I'm making grapes and wine.
That's awesome. Now, DC,
that's
obviously,
silly, man. That's just silly.
You're going to be at the Orlando Improv this weekend, like we said. And
the
people
Saturday
should get their
show.
tickets.
The Saturday show's tight, so you better start scooping now.
So when coronavirus first hit, DC, did you just say F it? I'm going to my farm. I'm chilling out for we're waiting for it to blow over.
Give me my Velcro. Give me my ashtray.
What happened when this whole thing first started?
I was shocked at the response or lack thereof, and my shows are always a State of the Union addresses, but and I'm just the response of it. But then, of course, the irony of masking up and everything. I saw some young guys the other day with masks on, hoods on, gloves on, and then they had their pants hanging off the crack of their ass, as though Corona cannot attack them from that angle.
No.
But I'm my show's always been State of the Union address. I see America and what's going on from where I stand, and I've always said I'm proud of how far we've come, and I'm ashamed of how far we have to go.
Yeah. I think everybody can sum it up like that.
And DC, do you have any new besides your tractor? Do you have any new toys that you've been working on the farm? Because last time we were talking to you, it was like having your own fishing pond that you could stock full of fish. Like I got 2 young sons. It'd be awesome to walk in your backyard and just you could fish whenever you wanted.
I'd probably go every afternoon.
Did you build any more cool things on your property?
I was forced to build some extra. I got hogs, man. And these hogs are apparently some very sexually oriented animals.
We are.
So in the course of the last, 12 or 13 months, I have had 27 pigs, extra pigs.
So what do you do with? Do you sell them off?
Butcher them up. You're baking them up.
I tried to sell them, but everybody likes the pigs when they're yours, and you got to feed them. But I ended up giving most of them away. Like, you want a pig?
You can bring us
see the response I get. You should see the response a black guy gets when he asks people, "Do they want a pig?"
DC, you're a real man.
I'll take one.
So, have you always been a real man? And I'll explain. Me and Daniel,
we have his hands dirty.
We have this
get out in it.
Yeah. We're soft. I'm
as soft as one of those pigs you're trying to sell.
DC, I saw a squirrel in my backyard with tumors on its head, and I couldn't even kill it because I'm too soft, DC.
Yeah, you had to go inside and write a letter about
I'm a goddamn snowflake, and I can't, I haven't been hardened. I've just been talking on the radio. This is not a job. This is not a real man job.
Knows.
Anyway.
You've seen our studio. It's nice and cushy. We got air conditioning and stuff. We're fat.
So, you could, if you needed to, you had a hurt animal, you just pull your gun out, blow its head off. Or, if it needed to be done, you could...
Well, I don't take pleasure in it, but, I got a couple of deer this year, but I always feel bad after I kill them. But I eat them. But
and that'll probably make you feel better.
Yeah, no, of course. And DC, last but not least, I got some sons that I feel like they're they're getting softer and softer by the day, and their snowflake dad, is not teaching them to be real men.
Buy them all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. They play video games. DC, they play Minecraft.
Does DC? Do you know about the video game Minecraft at all?
I've heard of it, but I'm not a video game guy.
Yeah, no, it's super. DC,
if you went heavier on the tractors and pulled back on the Minecraft, maybe you'd own a farm.
I feel like I need to send my sons, my snowflake boys, up to DC's farm.
Well, if you think it's weird for him, you think it's weird for a black guy to ask people to buy a pig, you think it's going to be weird for DC Curry, world-renowned comedian, be walking around with 2 little Swedish white boys. He's like, anybody want to buy these 2 little Swedish white boys?
DC Curry will make them men fly to Atlanta.
DC Curry and his 2 Swedish sons.
Anyway, you got any advice that I can help make them at least a little tougher?
Well, it sounds like they need to coach you a little bit.
He's probably right. He's probably right. Just ask them what they want to do. They'll go outside eventually.
But find the farm, man. Put them out there. Let them get to know nature, man.
That's true. And you've been doing that.
I know.
You're not all bad.
Get them out of the house, man. Get them out of the house, man.
I know. I'm working on it, DC.
And speaking of getting out of the house, 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 on Sunday, and I believe that's also a 7 o'clock show. TheImprovOrlando.com. DC, always a pleasure, man. And when things get a little bit more normal, we'd love to have you back in, okay? Take care.
All right on, man.
All right, man. Be good.
Thanks,
See you.
DC.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
2
yeah.
farms now.
Yeah.
2 farms. Yeah, comedy hurt him. That pandemic. That's called managing your money, folks.
Yeah.
My God, what a smart man.
That
God, 2 farms. I want a farm.
Like, imagine how fun it would be. Like, I would pay for this. It would like if it was
one real
if it
farm,
was like
and
a
then one is just his BS farm.
Like if DC Curry had a Patreon or was trying to raise some money for a project or something, and then like on one of the lists was like, I'm trying to think of the amount of money. Like I'd pay $2,500, right? Towards his like GoFundMe or like he's trying to what is it like Indiegogo project?
What, is this like a timeshare farm?
No, where he's like hang out for the weekend with DC Curry on his farm, shoot guns, go fishing. Like
So
I would
just
do
want to
that.
do what he does with his friends.
Yeah,
Farm vacation.
and just
They have these kind of retreats with big name celebrities. Just I don't think DC does it,
Yeah.
but he would be the one I'd want because every time we talk to that guy,
Yeah.
there's certain comedians that roll through here, and every time we talk to him, you come across a guy that just like he's kind of just like an everybody guy.
Yeah, cool
like,
as hell.
Not too cool for the room. He's cool, but he's not cooler than anybody.
no. He doesn't even care.
He can hang with anybody. He's an every guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And DC is one of those guys. Bill Bellamy's another one of those guys.
Yeah.
We've
It's just-
gotten is it Marlon Wayans is a lot like that.
Yeah.
These guys that just they're just normal guys.
Yeah, and it's like, and because I grew up with like real men, like I don't know why, like like the father figure of a
Yes,
real man
yes.
that likes to do all that.
There's something comforting about it. I agree. We both are in love with DC Curry. That's what you're trying to say.
I just want to ride in his lap on his tractor and drink whiskey.
I wanted. I'm glad you said that because I was going to say every time he's in here, I want to hug him a little bit. Like, he's a very.
I don't think he wants to hug.
I know he
anybody.
doesn't want to hug two stinking fat white dads. Of course,
we don't want to hug anybody. You're a real man.
No,
Wants to drink his whiskey.
Velcro ashtray on the tractor.
Smoke a cigar.
That's hilarious.
And then like he's got a gun on the side, because of course you do. It's your property.
He's like a black Tiger King, driving around his property.
Yeah. Then you see some like fence post that fell down.
You get off, walk over.
You don't do
check
the
it
work
out.
yourself. You call your
look at
maintenance
it. You
guy.
make a note.
Yeah. You call your I'm sure they have like a farm hand that mends fences. He comes over there. You get over there. You shoot. You see like some sort of fox or something that's gonna get your cattle.
Chickens, yeah.
Your
Pull its
chickens
head off.
You shoot
Then you
that.
grab its carcass and you by its tail and you throw it in your wagon behind your tractor. And then when you drive over to like your pigs, you throw the carcass in the pig trough.
They'll eat it all.
Yeah, you just whatever. You go inside, you wash up, and then your wife's like, "Made you some jalapeno cornbread."
Yeah. But DC's such a real man. Like I imagine I'm riding on his lap. As
a 40-year-old man riding in DC Curry's lap? He ain't gonna allow that.
The tractor only has one seat. So what about?
Well, you're gonna have to sit on the fender.
The fender or on the
sit
side?
on one of the fenders, you'll rip your legs off, and then you're horrible paraplegic. What happened to Tom? He can't walk anymore. He fell off a DC Curry's tractor because DC said it was gay that he sat in his lap. Because, culturally, it's just a little different, like culturally, city people are a little more homophobic. It's not a judgment thing. And Tom sat on there to try to appease everybody, and the big tire wheel caught on his chinkos and tore his legs off.
It ripped me underneath.
Now, the weird part of this is that DC, caused the problem a little bit because of the whole slight problem with you sitting in his lap, but he did give you mouth to mouth to keep you alive. So you can't have it both ways.
Also, I can imagine that like he comes across like one of his horses that he has in his property, and it's like
Flame.
It's hurt its ankle or whatever, and then but
got out of its splint and its legs all flopping around like a snake.
And then he's like, "Help me! Hold it for a second." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I'm holding it. I'm like, "Can we fix its ankle?" I think. And then he's like, he blows his head off or blows his brains out.
But then you get a little bit of blood. Because I mean, look, he's good with a gun, but he's not like
I'm traumatized. I'm like. I can't.
You have to do that move where you have to wipe it out of your eyes, and then you get the two smudges on the sides of your eyes.
And then I'm like, oh!
My God.
I'm not built for it.
We know.
Too weak for it.
Hacking its legs off with a machete. Take this back and cook it up.
Yeah.
Well, there was that. Got to take a break.
Yeah. Samantha, do you have? You don't. have any want to go hang out at a farm, right? That's not your thing.
I'll go check out a farm.
But you don't want to like ride on DC Curry's lap and shoot
No,
his
I don't wanna do
guns,
that.
right? Okay,
Yeah,
only
why
me.
would
Okay,
you? Why would you want to do that?
How dare you?
I don't know. That
Why
sounds
would you wanna
awesome
do
to me. Like, and then shooting.
I
out
do
of
want a
tractor.
chicken fight with Harlan Williams, though. That's just me, though. That's just me.
All right, let's take a break here. Bye bye.